Good, y'all. I'm Jerry, about to check out 10 times WWE ignored the fans and got it right. This video is about what culture of wrestling. It's kind of unusual for WWE. It's not really unusual for WWE to ignore the fans, but it's unusual for them to actually get it right by ignoring the fans. So you're about to hop into the video and see the 10 times that they did ignore the fans and got it right. So let's go.
Among wrestling discourse is whether or not WWE should have had Cody Rhodes topple Roman Reigns to become
They should have.
WWE Universal Champion. WWE has never been afraid to go against what its fan base wants. And
they should have.
The market leader, there have been times
Cody should have won that match. I still believe it. I still stand by that.
To be correct. With that in mind, then, I am Andrew from What Culture Wrestling, and here are 10 times WWE ignored the fans and got it right. Number 10, The Undertaker and John Cena keep it short and
that made sense.
Anticipation
both of them were past that.
all-time classic between two
Undertaker was way past his prime.
at WrestleMania 34, with us all expecting a lengthy war between John Cena and The Undertaker.
Then the match happened so fast.
Told Chris Van Vliet earlier this year that he initially believed the contest would be at least 30 minutes. Instead, New Orleans Mercedes-Benz Superdome played host to a match that lasted just 2 minutes and 45 seconds. While fans didn't get what they were hoping for here, it absolutely was.
I wish it could have happened back in like 07, 08.
Between two titans, what was served up was a dominant greatest hits victory for the Phenom. This brief encounter was fun for what it was, but most importantly, it didn't expose an Undertaker who was in the end game of his career. In fact, the dead man only wrestled 7 more televised matches after WrestleMania 34, and let's be honest, only one that was any good was the Boneyard encounter against AJ Styles. Number 9, Hollywood Hulk Hogan's WrestleMania 18 opponent. It's not so much that fans were
they wanted Stone Cold in this spot.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 18, but more than majority
it would have made sense.
The
fans thought it would have made sense for it to be Stone Cold.
In terms of billing, Hogan versus Austin would have been one of the biggest matches in history, featuring a pair of talents.
They had to give it to The Rock because The Rock also he was winless at WrestleMania by that time.
But one has to imagine that the then WWF could have forced the issue if they really wanted to, at least by just throwing a big old bunch of money at the problem. Instead, WWE decided to pair Hollywood up with the Great One, and the rest, as they say, is history. In hindsight, would the Toronto crowd have reacted the same way to Austin as they did to Rock? And if so, would Stone Cold have been happy to heel it up much in the same way the Rock did on that night? Regardless, the People's Champion proved to be the perfect foil for Hulk at WrestleMania 18. Number 8, the Architect causes the Shield to crumble. When the Shield split in June 2014, it was somewhat surprising.
I remember that night. That was shocking as hell.
WWE chose to orchestrate this demise. For fans, they were largely wanting Dean Ambrose to be the one behind the faction's downfall.
Really?
The Lunatic Fringe was the one often butting heads with his teammates during those final months together, and on top of that, die-hard fans knew just how vicious a villain Ambrose could be. That
I don't remember that.
Being due to his John Moxley days prior to arriving in WWE.
I agree with that.
Picking a breakout singles heel from the group, Dean Ambrose seemed to be the natural choice, particularly due to Seth Rollins' high-energy babyface moveset and the small fact that WWE clearly viewed Roman Reigns as the future face of the company. WWE's decision ultimately proved correct, though, with the heel turn for Seth Rollins springboarding him into a made man under the watch of the Authority. And as a result of that, that turn provided Ambrose with motivation to showcase his own babyface fire. And Roman, he's done okay for himself, hasn't he? Number 7, demoting Finn Balor. When Finn Balor returned to NXT,
that was the best thing they did for him.
Many groaned at seeing the ridiculously talented former Universal Champion back in WWE's
that was the best thing they did.
To those naysayers,
Finn Balor,
this was
2019.
at worst a demotion or at best mild ratings ploy as NXT.
I wish they'd do the same for Ricochet. I ain't gonna lie.
Dynamite. Either way, it was viewed as a backward step for the Bullet Club co-founder. But in hindsight, WWE was absolutely right to switch Balor back to NXT because let's face it, he was treading water as a middle-of-the-road babyface act on the main roster who was just going nowhere. During that second stint in NXT, Balor was able to revitalize his character, combining the edge of his Prince Devitt New Japan Pro Wrestling days with a sprinkling of what made Finn so popular during his first NXT run. In addition to memorably turning heel on Johnny Gargano as part of that NXT return, Finn also put on absolute bangers with Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, Karrion Kross, Damian Priest, Velveteen Dream, Timothy Thatcher, Kyle O'Reilly, Pete Dunne, Roderick Strong, and of course Adam Cole, baby. By the time Finn returned to the main roster in 2021, he was immediately paired up with Universal Champion Roman Reigns. And nowadays,
I don't like how that match ended.
Fantastic fit on Raw as part of the Judgment Day. Number 6, Daniel Bryan's 2015 Royal Rumble. With fans clamouring for Daniel Bryan to win the 2014 Royal Rumble, should the Yes Man have emerged victorious in that bout? Absolutely. With fans clamouring for Daniel Bryan Bryan to win the 2015 Royal Rumble. Should the Yes Man have emerged victorious in that bout? Absolutely not. In an ideal world, being Bryan winning the 2015 Rumble would have been great. Rather than Roman Reigns, it would have been Bryan standing tall at the end of the night, having earned himself a WrestleMania 31 shot against Brock Lesnar and the WWE Championship. Instead, Reigns won the Royal Rumble, and Bryan had to settle for a ladder match.
That ladder match was good.
At WrestleMania 31, a match in which the Washington native was victorious. Unfortunately, though, WWE's concerns over Bryan's health proved to be well-founded, and the American Dragon was forced to vacate the Intercontinental title shortly after WrestleMania 31, and that, of course, was eventually followed by the start of forced retirement due to concussion issues.
I think he came back around 2019.
Active in the wrestling world, and we are
was it 19 he came back?
Grateful for that. But it's hard not to argue that WWE didn't get it correct back in 2015. Also, one has to wonder whether we'd have got Seth Rollins' iconic heist of the century at WrestleMania 31. Should it have been Bryan versus Lesnar rather than Reigns versus Lesnar? Number 5, Logan Paul Premium Live Event Main Eventer. With just
Logan Paul is amazing. He is an amazing athlete.
Announced that Logan Paul will be headlining last year's Crown Jewel, and not just that, but
then I recently read he's ready to get back into the ring.
Universal Champion Roman
He's itching to get back.
Paul hadn't looked out of place in his prior 2 in-ring outings, but surely the YouTube sensation was a million miles away from being able to perform the level required to main event a premium live event. Love him or hate him, it's becoming clearer with each subsequent outing that Logan Paul is extremely good at WWE's particular brand of sports entertainment. Yes, that Crown Jewel bout was designed to accentuate Paul's strengths, and yes, the match did spend a little too much time outside the ring, but Logan very much
was a good match.
The biggest star in the industry.
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
His Royal Rumble and WrestleMania 39 appearances have again continued to showcase Logan Paul delivering to a phenomenal level in his...
That match he had with Self was entertaining as hell too.
Number 4, holding off on Bron Breakker's main roster move. Many presume Bron Breakker was nailed on to make the jump from NXT to the main roster in this year's WWE draft.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get drafted. I was surprised he didn't. But he turned heel.
For all the world as if there was nothing more for the second generation star to do in NXT. While there were several NXT talents who did make the jump to Raw or SmackDown as part of the draft, Breakker was surprisingly not one of them. And that is absolutely the correct call. Right now, Bron Breakker is tearing it up in NXT with a new vicious, violent persona. Sure, Steiner Jr. has always shown the same badass, roughhouse aggression as his father and uncle, but that has been taken to an entirely new level since Bron turned heel shortly after losing that title to Melo. By allowing the 25-year-old to hone his heel craft in NXT
I'm older than him.
a while longer, that should position Bron to make an even bigger impact.
Damn, I did not know he was 25.
Get it right. This villainous, brutal Bron Breakker could legitimately make the same sort of impression that Brock Lesnar made when the Beast debuted on the main roster back in 2002.
Ooh, I can't wait to see that.
3, not firing Edge. Not only did a certain section of the WWE fan base want Edge fired in 2005, but Triple H was even reportedly pushing for WWE to sever ties with the Canadian. Of course, this was after it became public knowledge that Edge, himself married at that time, had been having an affair with Amy Lita Dumas, who was dating Matt Hardy. While Matt was clearly the wrong party in all of this, it was actually he who would end up fired during this period, with WWE management taking umbrage with how Hardy had publicised the affair and publicly lambasted his ex-girlfriend and former friend. It's unknown whether the groundswell of fan support generated for the Hardy Boy during this time would have been enough to cement him as a bona fide main event player, but WWE did end up with one genuine top star as a result of this very real drama. That star, of course, being Edge. By opting not to fire Edge, that only amplified the heat the
elevated him
was receiving
more,
fans, which in turn made him
then he helped his character at the same time
and started the run that saw Edge rack up an impressive 11 World Championship reigns. Number 2, maintaining the Stardust gimmick. Right, this one is very much an entry reliant on Cody Rhodes' dogged determination, work ethic, and willingness to bet on himself, but in an extremely long game road laced with happenstance, WWE refusing to allow Cody to drop his Stardust gimmick has led to the market leader now having a white-hot megastar in their hands.
That's the best thing he did,
Cody went
was walk away
on the gimmick and embraced the eccentricities of the character. Still, once Dusty Rhodes tragically passed away in 2015, many clamoured to see Cody Rhodes return to his roots as Rhodes? Well,
Cody
Rhodes.
Rhodes.
When any such gimmick change failed to happen, Rhodes ultimately asked for and was granted his WWE release in May 2016. Would Cody Rhodes have become the Cody Rhodes of today if he'd have remained with WWE?
Nah.
That's a tough question. What we do
They probably would never even
is
pushed him.
Rhodes' decision to depart the market leader and take a chance on himself resulted in him nowadays being the biggest babyface in WWE and one of the biggest stars in the industry. To get to where he is now, Cody spent time in Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, various independent promotions, and eventually co-founded AEW, all as he honed the American Nightmare act that now has him sat at WWE's top table. Number 1. Rocky Maivia really was destined for greatness. Wrestling fans in 1996 thought Rocky Maivia was more destined for a company exit than destined for greatness. As Rocky Maivia, WWF did all it could to tell audiences that this was someone who was going to be a top player for the promotion. Playing up Maivia's athleticism, good looks, and of course his family heritage, the programming at the time slapped you around the face with how Rocky was a can't-miss prospect with plentiful world championships in his future. Not just if fans outright reject Maivia though, the vast majority of those fans likewise thought that Rocky had slim to no chance of carving out even a mildly decent career for himself. Yeah, we're a bit wrong there, weren't we? It took a knee injury in 1997, but that changed the path of Rocky Maivia. Having received such a negative reaction to his babyface act, Maivia used this time out of action to plan a heel turn that would come into play when he returned to our screens. Berating those who booed him and joining the Nation of Domination, the seeds were finally in place for Rocky Maivia to become the Rock, to become the Great One, to become the People's Champion, and to become one of the biggest
most
stars
electrifying man of all the entertainment.
Seen, if you smell So that's 10 times WWE was proven correct by not listening to us. Be sure to like, subscribe.
Alright y'all, another great video, man. Let me know down below in the comments of what y'all thought of my reaction to this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.